Hello and welcome, I'm your one Introvert, and this is Introvert Reviews, a series where I obviously review things because it's in the name there, reviews. And this episode I'm going to be reviewing Daredevil Season 2. So I binge watched the entire season over the weekend, Saturday night to Sunday. It was bad, I crashed a lot. But I managed to get through it all, and I managed to make down some serious notes, and this is just me telling you what I thought of the series. Major spoilers coming. I will be telling you, like, plot lines and different points and who dies and who doesn't die. So first off, I love Daredevil. I love the character. I love him as a hero. I love his powers. And I love the fact that he was one of the street-level guys who just tried to make a change in his area. And I also love the fact that he worked with Spidey. This is all in the comic books. And so I was really excited for Daredevil Season 1, and Daredevil Season 1 was good. The first couple of episodes up to like episode 6 were great, and then it kind of just went on a downward trend, and I fell out of love with it later on. I mean, the final episode was like really cool, and it redeemed it, but I was kind of like, this season needs to show me something better. It needs to show me something so much cooler, so much awesomer, and it delivered in ways. So I'll start off with the story, and the story is really, really genius. It's basically broken up into 2 parts, I guess. Or well, it's kind of like 3 parts. So the first part is the Frank Castle kind of story arc, and it's all about the Punisher and like getting him off the streets. And then the second kind of story arc is Elektra Nachios coming into the story and what she does and like how it shakes up Matt's life. And then the third story arc is more the Hand, and like, who is this agency, what do they want, and like, what's going on with this weird war that Stick's always talking about? Are they the other side of this war, or are they not? Like, what's going on? And I thought that was really genius. The first story arc, the Punisher arc, was amazing, because it dealt with the whole moral aspect of these heroes, because Daredevil is a vigilante who hits people and then puts them in jail, and then they will be back out on the streets. But the Punisher is one of those people who puts people down. Like, he takes someone down, they're not getting back up. There's no back out on the streets. They're just gone. The way they dealt with it, the dynamics between the two were amazing. Like, Daredevil, by the end, was kind of thinking, is this the right way to do things? Is he right? But then I really enjoyed that. It was really great to see these 2 characters wrestle with their moral decisions and, like, what's right and what's wrong. The second story arc was even better because it introduced Elektra. And I gotta say, this representation of Elektra by Elodie Yung was awesome because she played it so well. So when Elektra first appeared, she's this crazy, like, wild whirlwind into Matt's life, and he gets so happy, and they're so in love, and you can see that there's a real connection between the two. And then, like, it goes into her trying to be, like, a kind of hero on her own, which is awesome. And then that seamlessly slides into the third arc, where you introduce the Hand, and you bring about the end to the question of, what was that war that Stick was talking about in the first season? Like, you know, when he was talking to Matty about, like, oh yeah, there's a war coming. Like, I myself already knew what the war was. It was the chase against the Hand, which is obvious if you've read the comics and if you know who the Hand are and who the Chased are and if you know who Stick is. But for those that don't have prior knowledge, it was a great, like, conclusion to that question that they left open from the last season. So for me, the show only got really, really good around the 3rd episode, when Matt and the Punisher are up on this roof, and they're just having this, like, debate about who's right and who's wrong. And then there's this cool, awesome fight against, like, 30 different bikers on the stairwell down, and Daredevil beats the crap out of them. It's so cool. And then, like, from then on, the show just got better and better for me, and it just, like, the action kept up, the pace kept up, even, like, the boring stuff that wasn't Daredevil beating the crap out of people, like the case of Frank Castle against, like, the people of New York, was amazing to see, because it showed so much depth and growth in the characters. Like, Foggy came into his own in that story arc, and, like, you could see that the rift between Matt and Foggy that started in the last season has just gotten worse and worse and worse, and it's just breaking them apart, and it's really great because these characters are like, these 2 are meant to be together. Like, Matt and Foggy are 2 characters who just always should be together. That's their whole dynamic. Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law, that is a part of who Daredevil is, and the Daredevil mythology, and just everything to do with it. And it was great to see this, like, tear of them, like, oh god, what's happening? Like, it's so maddening, and it was amazing to see. It wrapped up everyone's storylines really well, like the hand was stopped, and, you know, New York was saved, and everyone's all good, and stuff like that. But it left you with so many questions for the next season that it's perfect, because now you're wondering, is Elektra going to be revived by the hand? Is she going to be their new weapon? Matt just told Karen, like, that he's Daredevil. What implications does that have? And Wilson Fisk growing power in prison, like, shit, like, what's going on? This is so cool. And it's, like, majorly, like, interesting to see this, because the show just leaves you wanting more, and that's really great. And everything in this show was really, really good, except for Karen Page's character. Now, I have no problem with the actress. Deborah Ann Wolfe is amazing. She did a really good job playing this character. You could tell when she was emotional. It was really great. And plus, she's a beautiful woman and, like, an amazing actress. Perfect. My problem with Karen is her character. I started to fall out of love with her around season 1, episode 10, when she had to shoot Wesley, and she just got really, like, emotional about it. And then she kept on making, like, little side comments about it and how she'd taken her life, but she didn't mention it to Foggy, and she didn't mention it to Matt. She just, like, kept it on the down low and was like, oh, yeah, yeah, sometimes people have to do things that they don't want to do. And it's like, but you should tell these people. They're not going to think you're monsters. They're just going to care about you. And she never did. And it seems like that incident, which was traumatic for her and so important to her character towards the end of the first season and in the beginning of the second, just was forgotten as the series went on. Also, I didn't like the fact that she jumped from vigilante to vigilante. Like, the first season, she was all about Daredevil. She was like, yeah, this guy's helping. He's doing a great job. Second season, the Punisher comes in, and then she starts to doubt Daredevil's motives. And, like, well, is he really helping? Does he really, like, do anything? I mean, like, the Punisher's actually clearing the streets. And then when the Punisher turns out to be a monster, she's like, yeah, Daredevil's the guy. Yeah, this guy, he's the guy. And I was always like, why? There's no, like, are you just the vigilante lover in this show? Because that's not really, like, a great character to be. But there are some aspects of her character that I did like in this season. Particularly her transition from, like, the assistant at the office who just made the coffee to taking over Ben Urich's kind of position at the Herald and turning into a journalist, which I thought was a better fit for her as a character than where she was last time. It just made so much more sense. Also, I like the fact that she is a strong female character in this show who doesn't need weapons or, like, a side to like, find the truth and be a hero. She's just, like, intrepid and adventurous. She's like a Lois Lane in this series, which is amazing to see and is, like, great that she portrayed it really well. So overall, I loved this season. It was amazing. The fights were, like, perfectly well choreographed. The series was... the fights were perfectly well choreographed. Everything was kept to the comic books that I love. I mean, even the hand were displayed in a way which was vicious, manipulative, and crazy, and kind of like a cult, which is great. And I love the hand. They're one of the few evil organizations in Marvel that I really do enjoy reading about. It's them and Hydra. I hate AIM, like the whole yellow jumpsuit thing. It's just not intimidating, but anyway. And it was really great the way they were portrayed, and I, like, felt it was so cool. And I love the fact that Marvel put in all these little Easter eggs. Or if not Easter eggs, they just linked the show straight together by, like, mentioning Jessica Jones and, like, bringing Jerry Hogarth and Samantha Reyes from Jessica Jones. And it was so cool to see, because it's like, Marvel really has faith in these. Like, this is all a connected universe, and that always makes it kind of giddy, because it's like, this is all happening in one world. Like, Jessica Jones probably heard about the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, but she's just like, nah, let him do his thing, you know? And it's really great to see that. The only kind of problem I have is that the series did start slow. Like, the first 2 episodes kind of bored me, and I was kind of like, do I want to carry on watching this? But I held in there because, of course, I had to. And, of course, Karen's character was another thing for me that was kind of like, meh. I don't really. So, for that reason, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, which is great. And I feel like if Karen's story had been, like, a little less, like, center forward, straight up, like, look at it. And maybe if, even if, like, she had done her story with kind of Foggy's character backing her up a bit more, it would have been, like, so much better. And I probably would have given it a 9.5 or a 10 even. But that's pretty much it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Daredevil Season 2. I hope you liked watching this video. If you did, like and share the video, and comment down below some of your ideas about Daredevil. What did you think of it? Like, did you think it lived up to the standards? Do you think it was better than the third season, worse than the third season? I want to hear about these things. Also, if you like the channel, subscribe. I have lots more content coming up. I've been your one introvert, and peace out and good whatever time of day it is. Again, not in your house, guys. Seriously. Bye.